Namo Loe Sauridantanam, Namo Loe Sauridanam, Namo Loe Saurayam, Namo Loe Saujayam, Namo Loe Sautrikavati Savanam, Omkaramindu Sanyutam Nityam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadam Okshadam Chayumkarai Namo, Manganam Bhagavanayo, Manganam Ukamavi, Manganam Kunkundari, Ujendram Ursumanganam Namasamaspada. Swanubhutya Jakasti Swadhay Bhavaye Vivaha Yusnidata.
Om Amoloya Sarvatrikavarti Arantanam. Om Amoloya Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Amoloya Sarvatrikavarti Aryanam. Om Amoloya Sarvatrikavarti Vajjanam. Om Amoloya Sarvatrikavarti Samanam. Eso Panchana Mukkaro Sarvapama Panasno Mandalam Sarvesim Pram. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Sheva Omkaraya Namo 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 Samaysaraya Swano Bhutya Chakasate Chitsavavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anyam Salakaya Chaksurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavantavarto Netirthachara Jagama Jayavantavarto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangaryotene Namo Te Sri Kuntakundane Oho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dhani Divano Jina Kundatvaniapya Aho Te Gurukanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamele Sarve Siddhane Vandhi Kahon Sutta Kevali Vasita Asamaya Prabhatare Om Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darasanamaya Kare Kayanyate Maru Jari Paramanu Matranati Hare Jamanetrate Majnana Natikara Ganati Vedakare Jani Jakarmodaya Nirajarabantate Majamokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Siddhebhyo Jai Jinendra. Everything is good. So right now I'm in Songad and today is December 16 and Wednesday, and we are going to talk about Samaysar. We are on Bhävarth, so we'll start and see how it goes. Let me share the screen to start with. So last time we were talking about Nai Apeksha. Different partial point of view we were talking. That how a given entity can be seen from different angle. Nai Apeksha, partial point of view, is a heart of Jainism. If we don't understand partial point of view, if we don't have Nai Apeksha understanding, then there could be lots of confusion can occur. What is this Nai Apeksha? What's a partial point of view? For example, I am somebody's son, I'm somebody's husband, I'm somebody's father, I'm somebody's nephew, I'm somebody's uncle. All those different partial point of view creates my entity. My real entity is made up of an infinite amount of partial point of view. When somebody is talking about me from my son's perspective, then I'm father. next person is talking to me from my father's perspective, then I'm son. So son and father both are in the same substance, same entity. It's just how we are looking at that entity. So this looking at this entity is a very, very important thing, and we have to have some kind of knowledge. And as I said, stanza 9 and 11, that will be coming up now solely on partial point of views only, and we'll be going at deep at the time. Right now, mode, paryay, a given mode is seen from different angles. And what are those angles? What are those possible angles? So the first one, it says, let me just put this one down. The first one says, eternal soul substance is pure, that we know about it. And that's why it's a subject of pure point of view. The pure point of view has a subject, and that subject is eternal soul substance. Pure point of view, I'm looking at the absolute pure point of view, that who am I? Then the eternal soul substance becomes pure, because remember, my mode could be impure or pure, and they are transient in nature. But my eternal soul substance is pure, not only today, but it was pure in the infinite past. It will remain pure in the infinite future. So, eternal soul substance is a pure, and that's why it's a subject of pure point of view. Okay? Suddha naino vishay. Now, this eternal soul substance is a pure, but who knows this purity? The soul substance is inert, it never reacts with anybody, it remains constant, stable, immutable, no relationship with anybody else, and so it is simply sitting there. It has no capacity of knowledge or anything. Eternal, pure substance we are talking. So, who is going to know these things? The mode. My mode. I have a mode, my knowledge mode. Remember, we had a mirror example and that peacock and all those things. So, this mode is a pure like a mirror. In that mode, all the alien substances are getting illuminated. At the same time, my eternal soul substance also get illuminated. So this mode is doing the function of knowing. So now this mode end up knowing that yes, I have a pure, eternal pure substance which is part of my existence. So this mode end up knowing this state. That's why this mode is also called pure. Aryan Bhagwan, the omniscient Lord, Siddha Bhagwan, the liberated soul, they have the pure and pure and pure and pure mode occurring all the time. Forever, they will be in the pure modes all the time. And what is this mode doing? This mode is illuminating the eternal soul substance within. And so, that's why this mode is also called pure, because it did the function of knowing. So the knowledge mode, doing the function of knowing, and it's knowing the soul substance as well as all the alien objects of the universe. But we put alien objects on the side right now. Our interest is a pure, eternal soul substance. So, this soul substance get illuminated in this mode, and this mode ends up knowing this one. This mode ends up knowing subject of pure point of view. That means paryay is suddha naino vishay. This is according to stanza number 14. When we come to those stanza 14 and 15, this will be gone in extreme detail. So, the mode is also called subject of pure point of view. So this is one consideration we have it. Because the soul substance is pure, the illumination is pure, and the action occurs in the mode. So we just say that this mode is also pure, and so it's a pure point of view, this mode. Now, we just look at the other angle. Other angle, it says, mode occurring due to association with the alien object is called impure. Remember, this mirror, this mode, this pariyai has an illumination of the eternal soul substance. At the same time, it has an illumination of the alien objects of the universe. As long as there is illumination only, there is no problem. But here what happens, with this illumination of the alien object, this mode says, that's me. For example, in my knowledge mode right now, there is an illumination of my body, physical body. And so this mode says, I am the body. It just takes ownership of the body. Even though body is a matter particle and I'm the soul, eternal soul substance with the mode with me, knowledge mode, but this knowledge mode did the illumination of this body and says, I am the body. And that's why this is called impure mode. And that's why it's a subject of impure substantial point of view. Now, why it's an impure substantial point of view? Asuddha dravyarthik naino vishay. Why we are saying that? Because substantial, because the mode originates from the substance. This knowledge mode came from the soul substance. Eternal soul substance is sitting there, a knowledge attribute is sitting there, and changes occurring in the knowledge attribute is called mode. And so this reflection, this illumination of the body or the alien objects of the universe occurring in the pariyai, in the mode, because the base is a substance, so that's why it's called substantial. It's called impure because now it took ownership with the alien object. This body is mine. I am hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm happy. I'm unhappy. I'm black. I'm dark. I'm white. I'm tall. All these things are body-related things and more things that I am the thing, all those things. So that's why it becomes impure. Remember, when the mode has an illumination of the but when there is a alien object illumination and I had the ownership on that one, I just said that is me. My house, this is my phone, this is my body, this is my shirt. They are all material object. How can I say they are mine? Because I'm just saying, just my problem, my mode is creating this problem. And that's why it's called impure. Because it's an association with the alien object. Simply knowing the alien object is not a problem. But here, I put my association, I put my ownership on it, and that's why it is called impure substantial point of view. And example author is given is attentive and non-attentive mode, pramak and apramak modes. Why? Because pramak means non-attentive from first to sixth spiritual stage. And at that time, there is association of the presence of karma. And that's what I have non-attentive phase, pramak dasa. But from 7th to 14th spiritual developmental stage, in which I'm engrossed within my true nature of the self, and that's called attentive phase, because now I'm attentive to my eternal soul substance, and at that time there are instrumental cause in the form of karma being absent. Remember, that's a tricky thing we are putting now. The first 1 to 6 stages is called pramat. It's called pramat, means at the non-attentive phase. And non-attentive phase is related with the fruition of the material karma. So now material karma is fruition. I look at it, I make association with that, and so this is called impure substantial point of view. Now, from the 7 to 14 stages, I'm not looking at the alien object. I'm engrossed within myself. And what's happening to karma? Karma are absent. There is no material karma fruition at the time. So absence of karma acts as an instrumental cause, because we are just looking association point of view, presence of karma or absence of karma. Same attentive phase means 7 to 14 stages. If I'm looking at it with the engrossment within myself and I'm not dependent on anybody else, then it's called my own modal transformation, which is coming in the next slide. See, mode of the substance with the impure substantial point of view is known as modal point of view, as is related to mode. Suddha dravyarthik naipon, Suddha dravyani drashtima paryayarthikache. Means, impure substantial point of view, which we just saw it before, this one, impure substantial point of view. Now, it is they're looking at this intersubstantial point of view from different angle. And this different angle, it says, wait a second, when you say substantial, because mode is coming from substance, but action occurs in the substance, or in the mode only. So, when the action occurs in the mode, it is called modal point of view. So this is same thing we are looking from different angle, and now we just say, yeah, it could be modal point of view also, or it could be impure substantial point of view also. Remember, it depends from what angle we are looking at it. Let's go to the next and then we'll discuss further. Number 4. It itself is division of attentive and non-attentive states, and therefore is mode by itself. As a result, it's also known as a conventional point of view. Now, what happens here? The same situation in my mode, there is an attentive phase, 7 to 14 spiritual stages, or non-attentive stage, 1 to 6 spiritual stages, because I'm finding these divisions. I said, this is my attentive phase, this is my non-attentive phase, and these divisions, when I make it, remember, it's the same mode, but we are making divisions. And whenever there is a division made, that's called a conventional point of view. For example, Bhävarth conventional point of view can be seen from 2 angles. Conventional point of view versus absolute point of view. First, absolute point of view we'll take. Absolute point of view means I perceive the way things are and no question about it. In the sense, I perceive my eternal soul substance and I say, that's my nature, that's my attention, that's my faith, that's what my attention I'm going to give it. And so, that is pure, that's an absolute point of view. But when I see 2 different things, means it's the same mode. Now, when I'm in this, when the Muniraj in the 6th spiritual development stage, he is in a non-attentive phase. When he is engrossed in the seventh spiritual state, that is called attentive phase. So this, we made a division of attentive and non-attentive phases, and when the divisions are made, that's called conventional point of view. Eternal soul substance is never have any division. It's a pure, immutable, permanent, everlasting. So that's called absolute point of view. But in the mode when I start making divisions, that is called conventional point of view. Second nature for conventional point of view is I make two things as one. For example, this is my phone and this is my phone. This is my phone. When I say that, that means phone and me, I put my ownership on it, and that's why it is conventional point of view. Two separate elements to be considered as one is called conventional point of view, and in the same indivisible soul substance to make divisions like attentive phase, non-attentive phase, that is also called conventional point of view. Now, question is, why should I go into so much detail about all these things? It just gives me a headache, for example. Why should I worry about all these things? Well, just like I was talking to Hemant Bhai in the Swadhay, and he is a very, very, very learned person. And what he said was very important sentence he put, and that was very important. He says, when you keep on increasing your knowledge base, same mode, I'm looking from 4 different views over here. When you increase your knowledge horizon, then your faith becomes contracted. And faith becomes contracted and it tries to come towards yourself. So, knowledge is important, knowing is important, detailed knowing is important, because that means I don't have any pitfalls to get stuck somewhere. If I don't know all this partial point of view, then what will happen? I may get stuck somewhere. Why you are calling this one as a Bhävarth nahi? Why you are calling this one Shuddha Dravyatik nahi? Why you are calling a Shuddha? All those questions will come to me and it will confuse me. But when I know this one, when I increase my knowledge horizon, then it will be, my faith becomes that much stronger and becomes contracted, and ultimately it comes to my eternal soul substance, and that is what I'm looking for.
Kirit,
Yes.
is this the same one person that wrote the Gujarati Anuvad of Samaysar, brother of Ben? Is that the same person?
Brother who? Brother of?
Ben?
Yes. Actually, this is the one that Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami gave discourses. And so from the discourses, we pull all these things out. That's what...
No.
There is some...
Hemant Bhai Kidu, is that the same one who wrote the Gujarati Anuvad of Samaysar?
No. That is... Hemant Bhai is the one, he is right now, he is about probably 58, 60 probably, 60, 62 maybe. But the Gujarati Anuvad of Samaysar was done by Himmat Bhai Shah. And Himmat Bhai Shah was Ben's brother. So he made from Prakrit and Sanskrit, he translated all the 5 Paramagams, 5 spiritual books, and 5 most important scripture, and he made it in a poem form. And he did an extremely great job by doing that way. And that's why we have those Samaysar stanza and everything today, because he did all those work, So it was fantastic work he did, yes. So he expired, I think, for about 10 years back. He was about 85 or something like that. Okay, so as go ahead.
Kirit bhai, Hemant bhai je કીધું એ ગુજરાતીમાં કોણ?
એમણે એમ કહ્યું કે જેટલું જ્ઞાનનો ફેલાવો થાય છે એની સાથે શ્રદ્ધા સંકેલાતી જાય છે. જેમ જ્ઞાનનો ફેલાવો થાય છે એમ શ્રદ્ધા સંકેલાતી જાય છે. Means I have the faith મારી શ્રદ્ધા પર પદાર્થ પર છે, તે પર પદાર્થની શ્રદ્ધા હવે મોડી પડતી જાય છે અને એક દિવસે એ શ્રદ્ધા હવે પરમાંથી સ્વ તરફ ઢળશે, જેનું નામ સમ્યક દશા આપણે કહીશું. એટલે I want to have the faith on my eternal soul substance, but I have to know all this partial point of view from different angles and everything. Right now, we are kind of following the book and we are not going in the detail of all these partial points of view, but when that comes, we have an amazing amount of information and that will tell us. Remember, we always say, Bhävarth, conventional point of view, and that's wrong. Conventional point of view is wrong when I'm considering from the absolute point of view. When I'm talking from eternal soul substance point of view, then conventional point of view becomes secondary and it becomes wrong. But conventional point of view is right in its own form. For example, whose phone is this? This is mine. Because I paid for it, I'm paying every month and everything, so that's mine. It is not Chirag's, it's mine. To make the distinction that I know that this is mine, but on the back of the mind, I also know that this is a matter particle and I'm the soul substance. Matter and soul are entirely different, and so there is no relation between those two. I know that part, and knowing that part, I still say that this is mine. At that time, it's important that I knew the partial point of view in detail. So whenever there is conventional wisdom going on, I mean, where are you from? I'm from New York. What is New York? And what are you? They're two separate elements. But because you're not from Phoenix, you're not from Songat, and you're from New York. So to continue day-to-day conventional thing, we continue this kind of conventional point of view. For example, if somebody tells me today, somebody meets me in a temple, and before Gurudev's procession, he meets me and he says, "Who are you?" So I'm going to tell him, I'm the eternal soul substance, I'm existing forever, and with my karma fruition and everything, with my intense auspicious karma, I got a human being life, and in human life, I was given a name, and that's me. If I give that long explanation, then he's going to think that my screws are loose in the brain. So what I will say, I'm Kirit. Case closed. But inside I should know that I'm not Kirit. Just for the conventional wisdom, I just said I'm Kirit. To continue day-to-day business. But I have to know who am I? What is my real nature? So these are the things that it's very important. Sometimes it happens to us. Why do I have to go to all these details and all the things? What does it help? How does it help me out? All these things. Yes, it does help me out because the pitfalls occurring in the soul, because to go to the eternal soul substance and to direct the faith there are tons and tons of pitfalls are coming. People will pull you this way and that way and everything. And in this important human being life, I may waste my time. So, not to waste time and to come to the real nature of the soul, I have to know all these things. It's okay if you don't remember, if you can't reproduce same thing. If I talk to you tomorrow and I just say, give you all those 4 different partial point of view about the Lord, you may not. You have to understand the back of the mind that these things do exist. So that's why we are going through in detail about these things. Let's see next. See, this is very important point. And right now, as I say, we are touching kind of surface of it and then walking out. But when we do the absolute point of view and conventional point of view, we'll go in detail, and I can assure you, you will have a pretty good understanding what is what, you know. Because I mean, it took a long time for me to understand, and so we will go through it, and it will be fun. Okay. If there's any question, no question, then we can go next. Okay. Why is auspicious, why is auspicious and inauspicious inclination inanimate? We already know the answer, so we'll go quickly about it. Physical body is inanimate as it has attributes of matter, touch, taste, smell, etc. We know that part, right? Now, auspicious and inauspicious inclinations do not have touch, taste, smell, etc. attributes of the matter. Auspicious inclination occurs within me. Inauspicious inclination occurs within me. And so when it is occurring within me, they don't have touch, taste, smell type of attributes of the matter. But they do not have knowledge within. Auspicious and inauspicious inclinations, they don't have knowledge within. They don't have capacity to know. Only knowing part is from the knowledge mode. Remember, as a soul, we have infinite attribute within us. Out of those infinite attribute, only knowledge attribute with its knowledge mode is most important. It's an extraordinary characteristics of the soul, because this knowledge mode knows the self, which mode knows the mode, and this mode will end up knowing other attributes of the soul. It will also know the alien objects of the universe. So swapar prakasha, self and alien objects illumination, that occurs in the knowledge mode only. So from this perspective, that this auspicious and inauspicious inclination, they don't have knowledge within, they don't have capacity to know, and that's why we call that one as an inanimate. Even though they occur within me, but they are not part of my eternal soul substance, that's why they are inanimate. For example, as we say, I have an abscess on the hand. This abscess, even though it's occurring within me, but it's not part of my body, it's not part of my healthy body, so throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. That's why it's called inanimate. Okay. Atmana dharma. Now we are going to talk about word dharma. Word dharma is used in many different perspectives, and we have to be aware of it, that what perspective this word is used. So, component element of the soul in auspicious and inauspicious inclination state. Component element. Dharma means component element. I have infinite amounts of attribute within me. I have infinite amount of components in the form of attributes within me. So that is called dharma. Let's see. From substance perspective, the substance is pure and mode is considered to be secondary in nature. We know that part very well. Now, but from modal perspective, mode itself, either pure or impure, has its own independent existence. I have the Gosalia family with me. I'm the owner of the Gosalia residence. When my 3 kids were growing up, my mother was there, wife is there. We are individual people in that. And everybody had that independent existence. Sure, I want to have my son go through highest grades in the school, but he's interested in the tennis. He's interested in other activities. So he has independent existence as long as he observes the Gosalia family's rules and regulations. So within that context, he is free to do whatever he wants to do. The mode is a part of a soul substance and attributes and infinite mode. So this mode has an independent existence. So soul substance may say, hey, mode, behave like this. Mode says, no, I have my own independence. I'll do whatever I want to do. We all live in the state of United States of America, and there is a president is Obama, and the food department came out with the food pyramid that you have to eat so much meat and so much vegetables and so much grains and so much fruits and everything. I have my independence. As long as I observe the rules and regulation of the country, I have my own independent existence. I want to go on fasting, I can do that. You want to do Varshitap, one Varshitap, second Varshitap, you have independence. I want to eat 10 times a day, I have independence. I don't want to eat meat, I am independent. So within the whole schema, the mode has its own independent existence. Now we can go further. From dialectic relativism, Syadvad Apeksha. Now this word is very important. Dialectic relativism means Syadvad. Syad means from certain perspective. Word Syad means certain perspective. Vad means to speak. I am man. When all the women are present and everything, and I want to give my nature, who am I? I'm a man. Or when I'm with a different crowd, I'm Indian. When I'm here in the Solgar, well, I'm from USA. So, Syad means from certain perspective, from certain, Vad means to speak. So, Syadvad means how to express in a different manner. And the principle of this one is a multiplicity point of view. Anekant. Anekant is a principle. And Syadvad is expression of those principles. So both the words basically say Anekant means nature of the soul. So from substance perspective, it's eternal. From modal perspective, it is transient. And so that's a multiplicity point of view. Transiency and permanency is present in the same soul substance at a given time. Now, when I'm expressing those things, that's called Syadvad or dialectic relativism. So purity of eternal soul substance and impurity of the mode, both are component element, means dharma of the soul substance. Here we are talking dharma basically. What's a dharma? Means component element. Pure mode or impure mode. It's from a modal perspective. Transiency, it's a modal perspective. And I am eternal soul substance, means I'm permanent. So permanency and transiency both are present in the same soul substance, and that is called soul substance is dharma, means component element of the soul. So that's a one definition, right? Second one. Dharma means righteousness. Means आज मैं धर्म करो, आज मैं उपवास करो, आज मैं पूजा करी, आज मैं भाव सारा रखा. That's called righteousness. So impurity of the auspicious and inauspiciousness occurs due to association with the alien objects and are censurable. He, upade, me. Those principles. So impurities of the auspicious, inauspicious modes occurring within me because of association with the alien object is not to be considered. It's to be discarded. I don't want to have it, I want to discard those things. So that's called hey. Then one needs to respect the eternal true nature of the self, means upade. I want to respect, I want to obtain, I want to put my attention to the eternal source substance. So that is to respect or upade. Then with attention focused to eternal true nature of the soul, one is able to discard impure inclinations. Remember, I want to remove the darkness. I want to remove darkness. And if I continually put my attention to darkness alone, it's not going to go away. I want to remove darkness, let me light with a matchstick. Little light comes out and whole darkness disappears. As we said one time, a few classes before, there was a case going on for the darkness and light, and the darkness gets lost on the light and says that, this guy is bothering me. So there was a case going on, and so now the judge says, okay, darkness, present yourself. And darkness says, sir, this light always bothers me. Wherever I am there, he comes and he tries me nuts, and he just throws me out. So that's right. Very good. So light, what's your problem? Why do you bother him? Light says, I've never seen this darkness. I'm the light. I've never seen this one. So how can I bother somebody? Same way, I want to remove my impure inclinations. I have to put my attention to eternal soul substance, and that will remove my impure inclinations. And this is known as righteousness. To take my attention away from the alien objects of the universe and bring the attention to my eternal soul substance, it's a righteousness, it's a dharma. When do I do the dharma? When do I do the righteousness? When I take my attention away from those things and bring it to eternal soul substance. That's a real thing, that's a right thing. Now, I just say, oh, you know what? I do the dharma, I give donation, I give charity, I go to temple, I do worshipping, and all. They are not called righteousness. Righteousness is the one in which I brought my attention to my eternal soul substance. I realized my soul substance. I experienced my soul substance. I had the right faith to my soul substance. I had the enlightenment of the soul substance. I get deeply engrossed within my soul. That's a righteousness. So when is this righteousness starts? From the fourth spiritual development state. Because until that time, my attention is drawn to alien objects of the universe. Now, when the righteousness occurs, means now I brought my attention to eternal soul substance, and as a result, the mode coming out is a pure mode. That's called samyak darshan mode. That's called self-realization mode. That's called enlightenment mode. Whatever name you give, and so dharma will start. Real dharma will start at that time. So, question comes. Then shall I not do anything? Shall I not go to temple? Shall I not do the worshipping? Shall I not do all these things? No, I got to do those things. But I should know that that is not the righteousness. I'm on the path to the righteousness. But that is not the righteousness. So I have to keep that one in my understanding. There is nothing, nobody says that you stop going to temple, you stop doing worshipping, you stop doing puja, you stop doing charity work and everything. What will you do then? Would you do the inauspicious work? No. Religion does not say you do inauspicious work. But it says when you do auspicious activity of donation, charity, compassion, and going to temple, worshipping and all the things, you have to do, but that is not my dharma. That's not my righteousness state. That understanding has to be there in my mind. So that's another meaning of dharma. Now, so right faith is generated, wrong faith dissipates, and that's a real righteousness. Then, third thing is called retention ability. That is also called dharma.
Kirit bhai? I have a question. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pose it properly, but try to understand. અત્યારે recently કોઈ સ્વાધ્યાયમાં એક comment થઈ, એટલા માટે હું આ પૂછું છું કે જે લોકો આ બધી એક્ટિવિટીઝ ધર્મ અનુષ્ઠાન કરે છે, તો એ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ થી એ લોકો એવું કહે છે કે અમે ભગવાનની પૂજા કરવા જઈએ છીએ, તો અમારા આત્માના લક્ષ્ય અમે ભગવાનની પૂજા કરીએ છીએ. So the statement was કે આત્માની તો ઓળખાણ છે નહીં, તો પછી આત્માનું લક્ષ્ય કેવી રીતે થાય?
See, that's what it is.
So another point I want to add to is, okay, so શુભ પ્રવૃત્તિ ન કરવી. So then that leaves me example for upvas. So I will not do the upvas, but I will eat whatever, how many times I want to eat during the day. So is upvas considered shubh, and then eating is ashubh. So is ashubh being done atmarth hai? તમે મારો confusion સમજો છો?
I understand. See, remember that one can do only three things to get engrossed in the soul substance, to get engrossed in the innate nature of the soul, to do the auspicious activity, to do the inauspicious activity. Only three things I can do. I can't do any fourth things. Now, I don't have innate nature of experiencing, means I have not brought my attention to the eternal soul substance. That means my attention is directed to the alien objects of the universe. Now, with those things, I can do only two things. Either I can do auspicious thing or I can do inauspicious thing. Now, tell me, who will say that don't do auspicious thing and do inauspicious thing? Means don't do this thing, means you do this one. Who is going to say that? Means,
so that is my question. They don't say do inauspicious things,
yeah,
but they will still negate by saying don't do upvas, don't do the auspicious thing. So that if you don't, like you said, if I don't do the auspicious thing, the left is an inauspicious thing.
Yes. And see, remember, nobody in this whole world will say you go and do the inauspicious thing. You do, but auspicious thing is a dharma. That idea has to be taken out of my mind.
Okay.
I'm going by doing the upvas, by doing charity, by doing donation, by doing austerity and everything, by doing worship and everything. What I'm doing is I'm trying to stay out from the inauspicious thing, number one. And when I'm on this path, then I keep on doing further, and it gives me more understanding for looking into my eternal true nature. My aim has to be eternal true nature. My aim doesn't have to be, I have to do so many upvas, I have to do so much worshipping and everything. No, you have to do it, but your idea that I'm doing right thing, that has to be born in my mind that, well, my faith says that whatever I'm doing is good thing, I'm doing for my soul and everything. How can I be doing charity, for example? I donated money today. Did money belongs to me? They're not part of me. They are the matter objects. And they have the dynamism property, so they came to me. Now they went out of me in the form of charity or in the form of throwing it out in the wrong way. So number one, when I do the charity, I'm doing something great. That feeling has to be important. That we have to say that, okay, it's an auspicious thing I did, but that's not part of my soul. It keeps my mind and heart in a proper fashion, and ultimately it helps me to go towards my eternal source. But who is my, I mean, Atma Laksha Karaj, what is Atma?
What is Atma Laksha? Kirit, exactly, that's what I want to. What is Atma Laksha? How can I do Atma Laksha if I don't know the Atma?
Yes, that's what. That's why knowledge is so important. Remember, from the one mode alone, we look at 4 different angles. So when I gather all this knowledge and everything, and now I try to imbibe on me, and I say, no, my true nature is to have eternal soul substance attention. My faith has to be directed to the eternal soul substance. And my understanding is there. Once I have understanding, I will most likely go on that path. Let's say my GPS says that this is the way to go, and I start going in the wrong direction. What will happen? Well, I didn't follow the advice. Once I have the knowledge that this is my true nature, then what do I have to do? It automatically has to come. And that is called Swadhay. That is called real understanding. People can know everything. People can keep on speaking everything. They can give lecture like everything. and in their personal life, you don't see any mildness at all. As soon as Swadhay is over, he just talks so bad thing about so many people, he had opinion for whole world and everything. That means he has not digested the knowledge. Knowledge means gathering the knowledge, listening, reading, writing, and watching and all the things. Now I try to imbibe on me, and I have to put myself in that direction. I have to be that particular person that now my sole aim in the life is to have eternal soul substance faith. And so people can speak anything. Speaking is not important. Action is more important. You know, you did the, let's say that one did the fasting for 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 12 days, 15 days, 1 month and everything. And now I take pride that, you know what, I'm the greatest of the great. I did 30 days of upasana. So what? Even the snake, when he goes in hibernation in winter time, he goes on fasting stage for 6 months. So he has a 6 months of maskaman. Is that important? No, important is with my understanding when I do it. So that's what is important. You know, I hope that answers your questions, you know.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, okay. So we can just take this dharma as a retention ability. That's another meaning of dharma. Dharma means, word used here means vastue rakheli, vastue dhari rakheli yogyata te dharma kehvaya. Retention ability of a thing is known as dharma. See, this is a third meaning of dharma. Retention ability. The eternal soul substance has maintained its permanency and the mode has maintained its impurity. Both are retention ability of a particular entity. So this is also called dharma. So same word, the 3 different places use 3 different ways. That meaning I should have to have it. If I just make literal meaning, dharma is righteousness, and then it won't fit in this definition. So I have to be careful. I have to have a broader understanding of this thing. And it all depends on your ability to understand and digest. And remember, we all have ability to understand and digest, because if I'm doing particular work right now, then I put my undivided attention to that work. If I'm doing angioplasty and stent and everything, I don't think about food and everything. I'm concentrating exactly how to take care of this patient. If you work in the lab, you exactly put the concentration to find the lab finding and do everything. When Ankit has to do the eye operation, he doesn't go in the la-la land and thinks that, oh yeah, I'm going to watch that movie and everything. No, he concentrates on the work. So I have a concentration ability. Now I just have to redirect that ability towards my eternal soul substance. I know how to drive. I started driving with an old clunker car. Now that I have more money, and I bought a brand new Toyota, and thereafter I bought Mercedes, I bought Lexus. I know the driving. So driving is important. Then any car I can drive. Same way here, I have a concentrating capacity within me. It just depends, where do I want to put that concentration? To the alien objects of the universe, or do I want to bring it to myself? So those are the things I have to keep in mind, you know, okay? Okay, so you know what, maybe we may have to stop here, because right now Gurudev's project will be starting within 10 minutes. So I have to run there.
Okay.
So
okay.
If there is any question, we can just entertain the question right now.
No question. And આજે શિબિર છે?
Yeah, I mean, Songarh, 3 times a day, Gurudev's pravachans are there. I mean, Songarh, Kanti Swami's pravachans are there. And then we sit down with Hemant Bhai and we do the Swadhay and everything. So practically whole day goes, you know, in this good atmosphere, you know.
Very nice. I wish I was there.
No, you are doing great. They're also sitting there. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And this is the sixth stanza. I know I keep on telling all the time because it's so great and so detailed. That's why we are taking our own time. And by now, I think we have dissected it from all different angles. That now we have pretty good idea. As you say, what's Atma Lakshya? We have some idea right now. And with this base, when we go further up in the different stanza, that will make us kind of becoming solid on our knowledge. Once we are solid in the knowledge, then automatically the behavior will come, my faith will get reduced from the alien object and it will get redirected in this life for sure, because we are born to get the experiencing of the soul, and we are going to get it. We have the confidence, right?
Yes, Kirit bhai, take your time. We are not in any hurry. We are enjoying the Gatha, Chatti Gatha we are enjoying. So please don't feel that you are taking time. Take your time. Thank you for your patience.
No problem. Thank you. ज्ञानी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालो सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा वेद हो 9 टाइम नमो का मंत्र
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Wish you